the taxi and takeoff lesson. Today we will be practicing taxiing and taking off in the Supermarine Spitfire Mk.IX. Press the spacebar to begin. The lesson will consist of the following parts: before taxi checklist, taxiing, before takeoff checklist, takeoff, and climb to altitude. Press the spacebar to proceed to the first part. Check that these temperatures are in the following ranges. Oil on the left gauge is no less than 20 degrees Celsius and is no more than 80 degrees Celsius. The coolant on the right gauge is no less than 60 degrees Celsius and is no more than 120 degrees Celsius. You can use the num / and num star keys to adjust the field of view, or FOV, if the temperature numbers are not easy to see. Press num enter to reset the FOV. Press spacebar when ready. Make sure that the propeller speed control lever is fully forward. Use the page up key or move the engine RPM axis forward. Check that the pneumatic pressure supply is no less than 220 pounds per square inch. The triple pressure gauge central needle should be in the vertical position. Press the spacebar to proceed. Press the brake lever and check the air pressure for each wheel brake, left and right needle on the triple pressure gauge. Press the W key or move the wheel brake axis. Holding the brakes down, increase the throttle to 1,800 RPM in order to check brake effectiveness. Monitor RPM on the engine speed indicator highlighted. Press the num + key carefully or move the throttle axis while holding the brake down. Brakes checked. Pull back the throttle lever to the idle position. Open the canopy for better visibility while taxiing. Press the left shift + C combination or left click the highlighted area. You are now ready to taxi. We'll use approximately 1,500 RPM to start moving from a standstill. Once in motion, the throttle lever should be set to the idle to maintain a safe taxi speed. To execute turns on the ground, press and hold the wheel brake lever on your flight control stick, while simultaneously giving rudder input in the direction of the desired turn. This will apply brake pressure to the corresponding main wheel and allow you to turn. In order to use the rudder pedals, press Z to turn left and X to turn right, or use the rudder axis. Press the spacebar to proceed. Increase throttle to 1,500 RPM. Press the num + key carefully, or move the throttle axis. Pull back the throttle lever. Press the num - key, or move the throttle axis. Stop in front of the yellow line on the taxiway using brakes. Press the W key, or perform a left turn by pressing the brakes lever and left rudder pedal while simultaneously increasing throttle. Reduce throttle and center the rudder pedals while keeping the brakes lever pressed in order to stay on the taxiway. Continue taxiing. Stay on the taxiway. Steer. Continue taxiing. Continue taxiing. Stay on the taxiway, steer right, slow down and stop. Hold short of the runway. Proceed onto the runway and turn right. Align the aircraft down the middle of the runway and stop. Move to the center of the runway. Steer right. Stop. Trim the elevator 1 division nose down for takeoff with a training load. The elevator trim tabs are controlled by the hand wheel on the left-hand side of the cockpit. The indicator is on the instrument panel. Press and hold the right control and semicolon combination or mouse over the highlighted area and rotate the hand wheel clockwise using the mouse wheel. Trim the rudder right. The rudder trimming tab is controlled by a small hand wheel on the left-hand side of the cockpit, and it does not have an indicator. The aircraft tends to turn to starboard when the hand wheel is rotated clockwise. Press and hold the right control plus / combination, or mouse over a highlighted area and rotate the hand wheel clockwise using the mouse wheel. Check that the main fuel tank's cock is in the on position. Press the spacebar to confirm. Check that the drop tank's cock is in the off position. Press the spacebar to confirm. Check that the flaps lever is in the up position. Press the spacebar to confirm. Make sure that the supercharger switch is set to the auto normal position. Confirm that the red light is on. Press the right shift plus S combination or click the highlighted switch. Check the carburetor air intake control lever on the left hand side of the cockpit. The filter in operation position must be used for all ground operations, takeoffs and landings. Make sure the lever is set to filter in operation position. Press the spacebar to confirm. At normal training loads, a +8 pounds per square inch boost is sufficient for takeoff. To begin takeoff, pull the stick back and increase throttle to a +8 pounds per square inch boost. Gradually let the stick come forward as the plane speed increases to lift the tail. There is a tendency to swing to the left, but this can be easily checked with rudder input. The plane will become airborne at 90 to 95 miles per hour. Push the stick forward once airborne to keep the plane in level flight and avoid attitude pitching. At 140 miles per hour, retract the undercarriage. After retracting the undercarriage, it is essential to check that the red warning light comes on. and if the undercarriage fails to lock up, the airflow through the radiators and oil cooler will be greatly reduced, and excessive temperatures will result. After that, set normal climbing power and begin to climb. You can turn the controls indicator by pressing the right control plus enter combination. This will allow you to monitor the position of the flight controls. Close the canopy when you are ready to take off. Press left control plus C, or look back and click the highlighted area. Pull the stick back and increase boost to plus 8 pounds per square inch. Watch the boost gauge highlighted for current boost values. Press the num plus key carefully or move the throttle axis. Use the rudder to maintain your heading down the runway. Eventually, airborne, gain speed in horizontal flight. Retract the undercarriage. Press the G key. Monitor the undercarriage indicator to make sure the gear retracts and locks successfully. Not lubricated. Set the carburetor air intake filter control to normal intake position. Press the H key. Set the engine to normal climbing power. Increase boost to plus 12 pounds per square inch. Press the num plus and num minus keys to increase or decrease boost, or use the throttle axis. Set 2,850 RPM on the engine speed indicator. Press page down and page up keys to increase or decrease RPM, or use the engine RPM axis. The recommended climbing speed is 180 miles per hour indicated airspeed, from sea level to operating heights at all roads. Control aeroplane pitch to maintain 180 miles per hour. Check the airspeed indicator for current indicated airspeed. Check the artificial horizon and turn the bank indicator to control your bank angle during climb. Look at the altimeter. The instrument consists of 3 needles. The shortest needle indicates altitude in tens of thousands of feet. Check that the oil and coolant temperatures do not exceed the following values during climb. 90 degrees Celsius for oil, and 125 degrees Celsius for coolant. If any of these values are exceeded, level out and increase airspeed. After temperatures are back to normal, continue the climb. You have successfully climbed to 7,000 feet, and that concludes this training lesson. Well done, pilot. Press the spacebar to end the lesson.